Percent proportion. Let's start with proportions again. And remember, a proportion is two equal ratios. And a ratio is a fancy word for a fraction. So two equal fractions. And when we solved proportions on Friday, the last time we were in class, when we were solving proportions, we use cross products, meaning we multiply the diagonals. For a proportion, two equal ratios or two equal fractions, to solve them, we use cross products. We multiply the diagonals. And today we're going to use a formula. Today, every single problem is going to use the percent proportion. Every single problem is going to use this formula. Anytime you have a percent, you're finding percent. What is 80% of this? If I want a B on my test, how many points do I have to get right?
80%.
Percent proportion. And here's what it is. It says is over of equals percent over 100. Is over of equals percent over 100. Every single problem right here. The percent proportion formula. And we're just going to practice using this formula. Percent proportion. Is over of equals percent over 100. This formula does not change. Is over of percent over 100. So here's our practice. You'll have a problem that says this tonight. Find 65% of 245. So here's what I do. I have two numbers in my problem. 65 is obviously my percent number. $245 touches the word of. The of number is 245. Find 65%, that goes in my percent spot, of 245. 245 goes in my of spot. So let's fill it in. I'm going to rewrite is over of equals percent over 100 for the first time so you can see where they go. Where do you think 65 is going to go? In the percent spot. So it's going to be 65 over 100. Where do you think 245 is going to go? on the bottom of the first one because it's the of. And what should I put on top? X. So let's multiply 245 times 65. $245. 15 what? 15, 9, 45, 35, 25. Then I go to my other diagonal. What's x times 100? 100x. What are you going to do? Divide by 100. That means move your decimal 2 times. 159.25. All right, let's try a different one. What percent of 60 is 52? What percent of 60 is 52? What percent of 60 is 52? All right, I've got 2 numbers. I've got 60 and I've got 52. Where should 60 go? What percent of 60 is 52? Where do you think 60 is going to go? In the of, because of 60 goes together. Because what does 52 belong to? Is. It tends to be the number, the word is in front of the number it belongs to. All right, so again, I'm going to write down is over of equals percent over 100 so we can see where they all go. Where am I putting 60? Where does it belong? What location?
On the denominator.
The denominator of the first one. Good. 60. I can even mark through it if that helps, because I used it already. Now what do I put the 52?
On top.
On the numerator. Because it's with the is. It's in the is location. Equals, what should I put for percent? X over 100. Is over of equals percent over 100. All right, let's cross multiply. 60 times x. 60x, good. 52 times 100. 5,200. Divided by 60. Did I hear 86.6 repeating? Now this is the type of problem that most people are going to get wrong, because this is not the complete answer. What were we looking for? Percent. This problem needs to have a percent in the answer. It's the only one. The other two don't matter. But when it says what percent, we've got to make sure we put a percent with our answer. Because it's 86.6%. $207 is 46% of what number? 207 is 46% of what number? 207 is 46% of what number? All right, so we've got two numbers. Louise, tell me about one of them. Where does one of them belong?
207
Good. 207 is the is. So it belongs in the numerator of the first fraction. Tell me about the 46. Where does that go? It's the percent. Where's the percent live? The numerator of the other fraction. So here we go. Is over of equals percent over 100. You told me 207 is the is. You also told me 46 goes with the percent. What should I put for of? And again, we're going to cross multiply. What's x times 46? 46x. What's 207 times 100? My last step is to divide by 46. $20,700 divided by 46. 450. If you use the formula, you're okay. All right, so let's try a word problem. "19 members, or 38%, of the ski club are going on the trip." Find the total number. Of members. 19 members, or 38% of the ski club, are going on the trip. Find the total number of members. Again, 19 members, or 38% of the ski club, are going on the trip. Find the total number of members. So again, we need to look for the two values, the two numbers, and you're going to have to do a little bit of thinking. Because the first number jumps out, it's easiest to identify. It's always easiest to identify the percent, right? Because it's got a percent right there with it. But the other number that they give me is 19. And I need to figure out, is 19 the is? Or is 19 the of? So, so we have two ways of looking at it. We look for the word of, which many of you have done, find the total number of members. So we're looking for the of. Here's how you know. This number right here, the of number, is considered the whole group. The is considered the part, the small group we're talking about. So is 19 the whole group, or is 19 just part of the group? 19 is just part of the group. We're looking for the whole, the total. So let's fill it in. Is 19. I'm looking for my of. 38 goes for percent, and this denominator in the second fraction is always 100. This number does not ever change. This spot location is always 100. So let's multiply 38 times x, 38x. 19 times 100. And divide by 38. How many total members are there? 15. Now here's where you need to stop and think. If you would have set it up wrong, you would have gotten a decimal answer. And would that have made sense? No. That's how you can check your work on word problems. Does the answer make sense? If you got 32.4, is that how many members there are? Can you have 0.4 of a member? No. Ladies and gentlemen, every single problem is over of equals percent over 100.